There we go. Wow. That's insane. Hello, everybody. I've never done something like this before, but I am super excited to be here to shave my head and go bald. And some of you who are watching this are probably asking, what the frick is he talking about? Why is this guy shaving his head? Why is he live streaming it? And so I want to take us back a little bit to tell you that story. And it starts 2 years ago when we launched Base. And when we launched Base, back in August 2023, but really in January 2023, when we started working on it, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know whether people were going to buy into the idea that we could build a global economy. We didn't know whether people were going to be excited about this vision of a new internet, of building onto a better future for all of us. And when we launched in August 2023, I think what we started to see was actually, there were people all around the world who believed in this better future, who believed that we could build a world where there weren't middlemen, where there weren't these intermediaries who were always taking fees and leaving us by the wayside, and that we could build an internet that was by the people, that was for the people. And the momentum started to build. And that brings us to 2024, the beginning of 2024, when one day, I stumbled across this thing called BaseGod. And at the time, I had a kind of like skepticism about this whole thing, meme coins and memes. I didn't really understand them. I didn't know why they were always in my replies, telling me things that I didn't really grok. And as I started pulling back the kind of covers on BaseGod, I went to the website, I watched the videos, I started realizing that what we're starting to see emerge on chain is kind of like the internet, where you have all of these communities, all of these cultures that are finding ways to use this new technology to bring people together and to use this new technology to make people feel connected and make people feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And that was a moment for me. It was a breakthrough. It was a feeling of wow. From not knowing what this was going to become to today, I was feeling, holy crap, it's become a thing that is bigger than just me. It's become a thing that is bigger than just the Base team. It's become a thing that's starting to be bigger than any of us could have imagined. And it was the beginning of kind of a new journey, where with eyes wide open, I started to see that there were all of these communities on Base, whether they were building memes, or they were building apps, or they were building games, or they were building communities just for the sake of building communities in their local region. And that was an incredibly beautiful thing. And so time went on, we got into March, we got into April, Base started growing, and we started thinking about what would be an incredible goal for 2024. And we zeroed in on this idea of if we could hit 10 billion TVL, $10 billion worth of value could move from off-chain to on-chain in this new global economy that we're building together, that would be pretty amazing. And when we set that goal, we honestly didn't think we were going to be able to hit it. I kind of set it as a big, hairy, audacious goal, which is a thing we do at Coinbase for setting goals. And what that means is like, we're not going to hit it this year. And I thought it was going to maybe happen in a few years. And there was this ongoing joke at the time maybe not a joke, this ongoing meme at the time in the Thank You BaseGod Telegram, where if you wanted to set a goal, you could set a goal and say, when we reach this goal, I'm going to go bald. And the significance of that was kind of this idea of paying tribute to this idea that there's something bigger than all of us, something based, something that's driving all of us to build this better future. And if we follow the religion, if you might call it that, of BaseGod, that in sacrificing something, in sacrificing your hair, you're paying homage to that idea. You're paying homage to this idea of there being something bigger than yourself. And so it was one night, I think it was late in the evening, I was kind of thinking about this goal that we set of 10 billion TVL. It felt impossibly far away. And I tapped in the Telegram chat. When we hit 10 billion TVL, I'll go bald. And I'll join the bald list. And I'll make this sacrifice. I'll make this kind of silly, but also somewhat serious statement that sometimes we have to do things that are a little bit weird, and sometimes we have to do things that are a little bit out there to kind of show that we're here, and show that what we're building is serious, and show that what we're building means something, and it means something that's bigger than any one of us. And then 2024 happened. And in a year, Base went from small thing that I think none of us really knew what was going to happen to it, into the leading L2 in the world, with millions of people all around the world using it on a regular basis, thousands, tens of thousands of builders contributing, helping us make it happen. And today, there are more than $14 billion worth of value on Base. $14 billion. It happened so much faster than I would have imagined. We crossed 10 billion in November as I was on Based around the world, seeing many of the people who are on this stream in person, in Kenya, in India, in Thailand, in the Philippines, in Singapore, in Manila. And here we are. And we're going to do something that's a little bit crazy and a lot based. And we are going to shave my head. And we're going to go fully bald. And I honestly feel kind of scared about that. I've never been bald before. I never thought I would be bald, but I'm doing it because it's the base thing to do. And even if it's a little crazy, and even if I'm going to look weird, and even people, maybe some people on the stream are going to make fun of me and say, why is that crazy guy shaving his head? I think it's going to bring us together. And I think it's going to make it so that all of us feel like this is one more moment in our story. The story of the world coming on chain, and the story of all of us building a better internet that's not controlled by a small number of companies or a small number of people, but is built by the people, built for the people, and built to be better for all of us, for all of our friends, and for all of our family. And of course, we're not just doing it, we're also trying to do good as we do it, because that is the Base way. We do the right thing. And so as part of this, we're raising money. And one of the people on the Base team's mom has breast cancer, and so we're raising money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. If you mint the kind of barber spinner, you're going to be contributing to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer research. There's also an ongoing auction right now of a one-of-one Base God that is open for the next few days, and all proceeds from that auction, gracefully donated by Meowthosaurus or Big Fat White Cat, will also go to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And this is just one small way that we're trying to take this energy, this movement, this moment that all of us are participating in right now with Base, and turn it into something that's bigger than us. And so, I feel scared, but I'm also ready to do this. Jose and Lineage Barbershop, and a little bit of his experience as a barber and a Venezuelan who moved to the United States, and how he uses crypto for his friends and family to send money back home. So let's just ask, maybe close it out with one question, which is, Jose, like, what was your experience with crypto kind of prior to meeting me? How are you using it? How is it impacting you?
¿Cómo empezaste con cripto? Y antes de conocer a Jesse y Coinbase y todo eso.
Nosotros conocimos las criptomonedas gracias a que venimos de Venezuela, como ya Jesse lo había dicho anteriormente, y en Venezuela es muy difícil el tema de los pagos, el tema de recibir, mandar dinero. Y lo conocimos gracias a que mi esposa, buscando maneras de cómo recibir pagos, dimos con un amigo que se llama Arcel, y él nos introdujo en este mundo de las criptomonedas.
So really they had a friend named Arcel that I guess was connected with his wife, and they got introduced to crypto as a payment processor, because being in Venezuela, transferring money, accepting payments, moving money especially in and out of Venezuela was virtually impossible, and crypto resolved that.
Yeah, and this for me was kind of a mind-blowing experience, because the first time I came in here and we started talking, and they told me they use crypto, and they told me they were going to accept crypto, and I just paid for my haircut with crypto. And they also told me that as part of their experience using crypto, they were actually paying still pretty high fees to get money into Tether, which they then used to send home to their family in Venezuela. And I luckily was able to introduce them to USDC on Base. And that meant that rather than paying 5% to convert their money to Tether and send it home, they could pay 0 and convert to USDC on Base and send it home in exactly the same way. And that was actually a pretty big win. And so, I don't know, I think it's really cool that we're seeing all of these real world use cases where crypto and on-chain are making people's lives better and giving them a reason to believe in this new internet, this new economy that all of us are building together. I think that's it. Vamos. Entonces, that's the brief intro, and now we're going to get into the real deal. What's going to happen next is we're going to shave my head, which I'm a little bit nervous about. We're going to do it in a couple parts. So first, we're going to buzz it down. We're going to do a little cool art, and then we're going to go fully bald. So, vamos? And while we're doing this, we actually got a bunch of really good questions from people. Here, let me just make sure this mic goes. Yeah, go for it. We got a bunch of really good questions from folks on the internet, and we're going to hit those questions because folks are always curious about what's going on with Base. 15, 20 minutes of my hair getting cut off, and that should be enough to answer all of the questions. So we're just going to start from the top. Don't mind my hair getting cut off. And the first question that we had was, with $10 billion on Base right now, if I could throw a party with anyone, any crypto giant, who would it be? And what would I want in that party? I was thinking about this one, and I don't know if there's one company that I would want to throw a party with. If I could throw a party, I think the people I'd probably throw a party with are all of the builders on Farcaster. It is, I don't know if folks here are on Farcaster, but it's one of the densest groups of high-quality builders that I've ever built with. It's people who believe in the future, people who see how... Yeah, we're ready. I'm going to talk through this whole thing. People who see how kind of crypto can be a platform that enables builders to build better and who want to build that future. And over the last little while, we've seen a lot of innovation come out of Farcaster. We've seen things like Clanker. We've seen things like Farcade. We've seen people figuring out, okay, how do we use these new social platforms and this new social dynamic, this new social distribution to do better, cooler, more connected things? And that feels like exactly the right audience that you'd want at a party. So yeah, if I had one party for crypto to celebrate $10 billion, I want it to be with people building on Farcaster, building the future, leveraging social on-chain. Okay. Wow. That's short. This is only number 3, they say. Oh my God. Okay, so the next question that my team's queuing up for me, does shaving my head mean it's finally time for Base summer? Well, it's always summer somewhere, and right now in the southern hemisphere, it's summer. And I think some people are calling it Base summer there. But I can tell you that On-Chain Summer 3 is coming. It's coming this summer, starting in June, July, August, September. And I think that this summer is the summer that the world's going to come on-chain. Now, to be fair, I've thought for the last 2 summers that it was also going to be the summer that the world was going to come on-chain. So I think some people think I'm optimistic. But really, it feels like there's something different happening right now. The technology's finally here. It's fast, it's cheap, it's easy to use, there's cool apps being built, there's viral social distribution through things like Farcaster and Telegram that's starting to really pop off. And so, there goes my hair. I think that it's going to be pretty special this summer. I think On-Chain Summer 3 is going to be incredible, and I think it's going to be up to builders like the people who are on this stream to make it feel special. So yeah, if you're a builder, start building and start aiming towards On-Chain Summer 3 coming in June. Get your apps ready, get your products ready, get the world ready to bring the world on-chain.
Sorry, where is more better for you? This side or this side?
I think we should do it on the left side. Yeah, and then we'll turn me that way. You guys, we're gonna do a little. What's the right way to call it? This is a detour on the way to Jesse being bald, but it's worth it.
You send me please the logo?
Yeah. Okay, 1 second here. I got it. Circle with the line. Okay, so the next question. What's a word of advice to me at 20 years old? If I had to give a word of advice to my 20-year-old self, it would probably be to like just keep building. You're not going to be able to know what the right answer is right away. You're going to start things and they're probably not going to work. You're going to try things, they're going to fail. You're going to build with people and maybe they're going to be awesome, but maybe they're not going to be the people who you love building with. And the most important thing through all of that is not giving up. It's putting your head down, it's finding things that you love doing on a day-to-day basis, and it's building. And so, yeah, I think that would be the advice. It would be find what makes you happy, whether that's creating content or building apps or building communities, and make the time to do that. And don't be afraid about it being perfect. Don't be afraid about making mistakes. Just focus on doing. And when you do, learn. Figure out what works, what doesn't work. Where do you make mistakes? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? The more you build, the more you're going to be able to learn, the faster you're going to be able to build great things.
Do you feel closer to Valhalla?
Do I feel closer to Valhalla? Ooh, I mean, yeah, I feel like every hair that goes off my head, inch by inch, closer to Valhalla. Okay, so the next question that we got in the AMA was, what do I envision for Base this year? And that's timely, because it's the beginning of the year. And we actually just had an incredible kind of kickoff with the whole Base core team on Monday. Whenever we're coming back from a break, I like to kick us off with a bang. Like, this isn't, we're back, let's kind of slowly ramp up. This is like, we're back, let's fucking go. And we kind of had 15 minutes with the whole team on Monday to kind of kick off the year. And going into that, and really when we look at a year ahead, I always like to set what I call big, hairy, audacious goals, which kind of define what do we want to challenge ourselves with this year. And last year was to reach 10 billion TVL. This year, it's a little bit more ambitious. And it's 2025, so we anchored our big, hairy, audacious goals around 25s. And these aren't goals that will be easy. Hell, we might not even achieve these goals. But they're meant to challenge us and to push us to work hard and to give it our all and to really believe that we can go above and beyond what we might normally expect. And those goals for this year were, we want 25 million people on Base on a regular basis. We want 25,000 developers and builders on Base on a regular basis. We want $100 billion on Base by the end of the year. And we want to be able to do 1 billion transactions in a single month by the end of the year. And just to remind all of you, this year, we reached 1 billion transactions total in October. And our big, hairy, audacious goal for 2025 is to do 1 billion transactions in October alone this year. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. Should we spin it and see what we made? Yeah. There we go. That's what I can't even see it. Should we spin it more? And then let's go. Let's see if we can get a zoom. One stop on the way to Valhalla with the Base logo. There we go. Wow. That's insane. It's kind of sick, honestly. Drew, do we have another question? Next question. What are the best tools for supporting builders? And are we working to attract even more builders in 2025? So the best tools for supporting builders, I mean, there's a bunch of different kinds of tools and different kinds of support. So if you're looking for support from the Base community, a few tools you can check out. One is you can go to base.org/getstarted. Tons of resources there. You can also jump in Discord. So that's just base.org/Discord. You'll find a ton of people who want to help you be successful there. Now, if you're thinking about what do we need to build in order to help builders overall in the year ahead, I'd say the biggest theme for me is this idea that 2025 is the year that builders go viral. And the way we're going to help builders go viral is by investing more in on-chain social and building experiences that drive distribution to on-chain social. And so if you're building an app, figure out if you can build a feed into that app. Plug into Farcaster, plug into Rodeo, plug into Zora, plug into any of these incredible feeds of content that are starting to be built on Base. And when you do that, what you're going to do is you're actually going to help other builders. You're going to turn your product into a platform. And you're going to make it possible for other builders to get distribution through you. And then in doing that, you're also going to make it so that your product's better. It's more engaging, it's funner, it has more cool content. And so that's probably the single biggest theme that I have for this year is let's all of us focus on building on on-chain social, giving more distribution to on-chain social, and tapping into those viral mechanics that can help all of us go viral. Okay, wow. My hair is really short. So next question is, am I going to immediately start regrowing my hair or am I going to embrace baldness for a bit? Well, I have to admit this morning I was talking with my team and I said, so it's going to be like a week or two until my hair's back, right? And they were like, sir, no. They estimated two months until my hair is back. I was a little surprised by that, but here we are still. So my current plan is to kind of let it lie. You know, it's, kind of let it grow in. I actually have a little bit of a fantasy, an idea, which is once it gets just long enough, like maybe like a 0 or a 1, I want to dye it bright yellow, kind of like my CryptoPunk, and just kind of see how that feels for a little bit. And then I think I'll probably go back to having normal hair. This is really, I don't think I ever, well, you never say never with bald because, we don't control that. But I didn't intend to intentionally go bald in my life. But here we are. And I think we're pretty close, although I do think there's one more step. Like this is the second to last bald step. Okay, what are we going to do? What is it? We got to spin the chair. Okay, what do we got?
Spin him.
Wow. What? Should I keep it? I can't see it.
Oh, I turned this way.
I'm not keeping it. No, I got to go all the way. I got to go all the way.
Okay. Take it off? Oh, I like it.
No, we gotta take it off. No, we're taking it off. We gotta be consistent. I liked it though as a temporary stop. Okay, so what are we gonna do when we reach $1 billion in TVL? That's the next question. 100 billion. Sorry, not a billion. We're already well past the billion. 100 billion in TVL? I don't know. Drop some ideas in the chat. If you have an idea for what I should do at 100 billion TVL, which is a big, hairy, audacious goal for this year, drop it in the chat, comment here. I'm seeing some signs from my team they want me to grow back out my hair. So maybe we'll go back to, oh wow, that one feels really wild. We're going like shiny bald right now, everyone. Yeah, drop your ideas in the chat for 100 billion. I'm trying to read this. How can we amplify base builders and founders more to grow the based way of life faster and to a wider audience? Well, I already talked about social and on-chain social. I really think that building on-chain social products and driving distribution through on-chain social products is the single most important thing that all of us can do from a product perspective, because it's going to let us take control of our own destiny. And we're going to be able to build incredible experiences that just drop into a feed and let people buy things or play games or build communities in a totally new and novel way. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is that we need more based voices. These are people who are on Twitter. These are people who are streaming. These are people who are creating content. These are people who are helping us tell the story of the world coming on chain. And so if that's you, my ask would be lean in this year. Keep creating content, keep streaming, keep telling this story, tell your friends, and help other base builders. Find your community, find your people, find the people who you get excited about and tell their story. And do it on Twitter, do it on Warpcast and Farcaster, do it on Rodeo and Zora and MoshiCam. Use the tools that we have at our disposal to tell the story of base. Because the story of the world coming on chain, it's not going to be told by one company. It can't be told by one person. It's got to be told by all of us. And the more that all of us can tell that story, the faster that we're going to be able to bring the entire world on chain. Okay, next question. What makes me believe in base? I mean, it's all of you. Like literally, it's the people on this stream. It's the people who I DM with like literally 24/7, 365, over the holidays, on Christmas, on New Year's. It's builders who see a better future. They feel it in their bones and they have it at the tips of their fingertips. They're seeing how this new next generation of the internet is actually letting them build better. It's letting them make more money. It's letting them send more money to their friends and family. It's letting them create community in new ways. And then they're doing incredible things. And they're sharing it with me oftentimes. And every time one of you shares something with me, or every time one of you gets excited, or every time one of you does something that's based, it makes me believe a little bit more. And it makes me feel like against all of the odds, against the huge companies that have deeply entrenched interests in not letting us build a better future, the banks, the corporations, the small number of people who control the internet today, it makes me believe that we can do it. That we actually can build a better future, that we can build a base future, that we can build an on-chain future, and that if all of us put our minds together and our work together and our effort together, that we can be stronger together, and that we can win together, and that in doing that we can build a better world together. And so, yeah, like, keep doing it, keep building, keep being yourself, keep being based. Because that's what keeps me believing, that's what keeps me working, and Yeah, that's what keeps me going. And I'm getting a 5-minute warning, so we're 5 minutes away. Tell us more about the new bio, built on Ethereum, built on the superchain. Yeah, this was kind of the energy we felt like we needed to bring coming into 2025. We are bigger together. Ethereum, it's our time. It's our time to lock arms, to lock in, and to build, and to bring the world on chain. And we don't do that by thinking zero sum. We don't do that by saying we're better than you and blah, blah, blah. We do that by building. And we do that by believing. And the more that we can do that together, the faster the world's going to come on chain. And when it comes to Base, the people that we're most frequently doing that with is Ethereum and the entire community, the incredible community of builders who are building on-chain on Ethereum, and then Optimism and the Superchain and all of the other L2s that are making this entire Superchain come together. And so coming into this new year, we wanted to plant that flag. We wanted to tell everyone that Base is built on Ethereum, Base is built on the Superchain, and we couldn't be more proud to be building this future alongside all of you. And I think we're coming down to the second to last questions. 2 minutes. Second to last question. What is Base's biggest challenge for 2025? I think the biggest challenge is not getting distracted by the noise. There's so much noise on Twitter. And there's folks who are trying to, distract us and tear us apart. And at the end of the day, I think that Twitter and Instagram and social, it has a really important role. And like I said, it's going to play a critical role in bringing the world on chain. But the best version of it is when we build the future, and then we tell the story of how that future is making the world a better place. We're not arguing, we're not fighting, we're building, and then we're talking about what we've built. And so if I could challenge all of you to do something in the year ahead, it would be don't stop building, put your head down. When you talk about what you built. Talk about the impact that it made. Talk about how you changed people's lives. Because that's going to be the thing that convinces everyone else to come on-chain. It's going to be them hearing stories about how on-chain changed your life, how it changed your friend's life, how it changed your family's life, and how it made the world a better place, how it made the internet work better for us, and how all of us came together to build an internet for the people, by the people, on-chain, on Base, on Optimism, on Ethereum, for all of us together. And so, there's one last question. About why do I think about Base being, why am I bullish on Base? There's a lot of places people can build, whether that's other L2s, or Ethereum, or Solana, and we are all building together. And at the same time, lots of people are choosing to build on Base. And I think the reason why people are choosing to build on Base and making Base their local home inside of the global on-chain movement that all of us are a part of and all of us are working together on is because of the builders. And because of this Base culture that we have built together that puts builders first and that stays based. And when we say stay based, we mean that we work hard. We mean that we do the right thing. We mean that we push boundaries with creativity. And we mean that we put the team over the individual. Because at the end of the day, we are so much bigger together than we are alone. And so if you're watching this stream, if you enjoyed watching me go bald, keep building.